where love should live between sisters, a dark secret was buried beneath the smiles. Two sisters, one heart full of joy, the other poisoned by jealousy. When one is chosen for greatness, the other plots her fall. But how far will a sister go when her own blood becomes her enemy? What happens when love turns to hate, and what if the price of jealousy is death? This is not just a story, it's a warning. The jealous sister, she tried to take her sister's life, but fate had other plans.
In the quiet village of Umuobia, two sisters, Ada and Chika, lived with their mother. Ada was the older one, with bright eyes and strong arms. Chika was younger, gentle, and full of smiles. Everyone in the village loved Chika. That made Ada angry. Everywhere Chika went, people gave her things. Mama Nkechi gave her mangoes. Papa Uche gave her groundnuts. The women at the stream always called her our star girl. Ada watched, and her heart grew bitter. Their mother, Mama Ebere, was poor but hard-working. She sold pap in the market. She always said, "My daughters will shine one day." But Ada felt that only Chika was shining. She started to think bad thoughts. One evening, as the sun went down, Ada stood by the window watching Chika plait her doll's hair. Her eyes were full of jealousy. "Why does everyone love her more than me?" Ada whispered to herself. The next day, Mama Ebere sent them to the stream. On the way, Chika danced and sang. "Ada, come sing with me," Chika said. But Ada only frowned in her heart. She said, "One day you will stop smiling." At the stream, Chika bent down to fetch water. Ada picked a stone and held it behind her back. She looked around. No one was near. The forest was quiet. Her hand shook. She wanted to throw the stone, but just as she raised her hand, a big lizard jumped out from the bush. Ada screamed and dropped the stone. Chika turned quickly. "What is it, sister?" she asked, worried. "Nothing," lied, "just a lizard." That night, Ada could not sleep. Her heart was heavy. She knew what she wanted to do was bad. But the jealousy in her heart was strong. She cried quietly, covering her face with a wrapper. The next morning, Mama Ebere called them. "A rich woman from Enugu is coming today," she said. "She wants to help a girl from this village. You two must look your best." Chika smiled. Ada burned with anger. When the rich woman arrived, her car was long and shiny. Everyone gathered. The woman stepped out in high heels. "Who are these girls?" she asked. Mama Ebere pushed Ada and Chika forward. "These are my daughters." The woman looked at them closely. She touched Chika's cheeks and smiled. "This one," she said, pointing to Chika. "She has a kind face. I will take her to Enugu to sponsor her education." The crowd cheered. Chika froze in shock. Ada's heart broke into pieces. That night, Ada didn't eat. She just stared at the wall. "So she will leave me here and go to the city?" she said to herself. 2 days later, the woman sent a driver to pick Chika. She hugged Ada. "I will write to you every week," she said. Ada hugged her back, but her smile was fake. Her heart was boiling. Time passed. Chika sent letters with pictures. She looked happy in big buildings. She wore fine clothes. Mama Ebere showed the letters to everyone. "My daughter is now in school in the city," she said proudly, but Ada grew more angry. "What about me?" she asked. "Am I not smart too?" The people in the village forgot about her. All they talked about was Chika and her city life. One day, Ada took her wrapper and left the house. She walked deep into the forest. She had heard about a woman who lived near the river. People said she had powers. Ada wanted to find her. She walked for hours until she saw a small hut beside a big tree. An old woman sat outside, grinding leaves. "Who are you?" she asked. Ada knelt. "Please, Mama, I want your help."
The old woman looked at Ada's eyes. "You are full of jealousy," she said. "You want to harm someone you love." Ada nodded slowly. "I want to bring my sister back. She took everything." The old woman gave her a small black calabash. "Drop this in her path. She will fall sick and come back. But if you do this, your heart will never know peace again." Ada took the calabash and returned home. She waited. When she heard that Chika was coming to visit the village, she smiled. "Perfect," she whispered. "She will walk the bush path. I know where to hide it." The day Chika returned was sunny. The villagers rushed to greet her. She wore a yellow dress and carried gifts for Mama Ebere and Ada. "Sister, I missed you," Chika said as she hugged Ada. Ada nodded slowly, hiding the calabash under her wrapper. That evening, Chika said she would go to the stream to fetch water, just like old times. Ada followed her quietly, hiding the calabash in her bag. As they walked, Chika talked about the city. but Ada said nothing. At a bend in the bush path, Chika stopped to pick flowers. Ada saw her chance. She brought out the calabash and dropped it in the middle of the path. She covered it with leaves, then called, "Chika, let's go." Chika stepped on the hidden calabash. At once she fell and screamed. Her legs began to shake. Her eyes turned white. Ada gasped. She didn't expect it to be so fast. "Chika, Chika!" she shouted, pretending to help. Villagers heard the scream and ran to the path. They carried Chika home. She was very sick. She could not talk or move. The local healer tried herbs, but nothing worked. Mama Ebere cried and prayed all night. Ada sat in the corner watching. She felt a strange fear in her chest. She had wanted Chika to come back, not to die. The old woman's voice came back to her. "Your heart will never know peace again." That night, Ada had a dream. In it, Chika stood by the stream crying. "Why, Ada? Why did you do this to me?" she asked. Ada woke up sweating. Her throat was dry. She ran outside and fell to her knees. "I didn't want to lose you," Ada cried. "I was jealous. I thought Mama loved you more." Her cries woke Mama Ebere, who came outside and saw her daughter crying. "Ada, what did you do?" she asked. Ada told Mama everything. She cried as she spoke. Mama Ebere was heartbroken. "You tried to take your sister's life? The one who loved you so much?" Ada nodded. "Please, Mama, help me bring her back." They rushed to the forest that morning. The old woman waited. She looked at Ada and shook her head. "You broke your sister's spirit, but love is still stronger than jealousy." She gave Ada a white stone and whispered some words. When they returned home and placed the stone on Chika's chest, her eyes opened slowly. She smiled. "Ada?" she said weakly. Ada cried and hugged her sister. From that day, Ada promised never to let jealousy grow in her heart again.
So this story is talking about how jealousy is a dangerous seed that grows silently but destroys deeply. In this story, Ada allowed envy to control her heart, leading her to almost harm the one person who loved her the most, her own sister. It teaches us that comparing ourselves to others can blind us from seeing our own blessings. True happiness comes when we celebrate others' success, not when we try to bring them down. Family should protect, not hurt, no matter how painful it feels to be overlooked. Hurting someone will never bring peace. Love, honest, and forgiveness are always stronger than the hate and jealousy.
Thank you so much for listening to today's enchanting story. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe for more magical tales that spark your imagination. Every story is a door to a new adventure, and I'm so glad you walked through it with me today. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep dreaming big. Until next time, keep the magic alive in your heart. I'll see you again soon for another wonderful story. Bye for now.